Hello, everybody. This is Joshua Hayes at BigWaveTrading.com coming to you with our first stock market wrap up for you to use on June the 24th. First off, let's look at the New York Stock Exchange. Yeah, this will probably be a pretty quick one overall. Let's go and expand it all the way out. You see that NYSE had a slight up day, up 0.6%. You can see that it tried to get above the 50-day moving average intraday, but the selling from the day before was just too much, and it failed to make any movement. Also, if you'll notice, the volume was below the volume before the day before volume, meaning that today was not much. And the downtrend that has started about 7 days ago is still in good chance to continue to go. So the NYSE, I still don't like this chart pattern. I would hope that it would bounce around here at the 5,200 and then build a base and then break back out. But I'm just not too confident on that right now because I have a feeling that there's more bulls out there than bears underneath this whole thing. S&P 500, I'm going to show you the same similar thing. Has a 0.23% intraday rally. You can see it didn't do too bad, didn't close too far off the lows. It's still got a big T and it's still closing the upper end of the range, but still overall, as you can see, since the downtrend started, you've got 3 prominent down days and 4 very light sideways or up days, so it just doesn't look good at all there. On the NASDAQ, once again, we have 1, 2, 3 clear bearish bars to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bars that are very tight, like they're going nowhere. There's absolutely no accumulation in them, and in fact, 2 of those up day bars are completely churning. This is a day of churning on the, what's the date? The 17th, and this is a day of churning here on the 19th. And then you got the breakdown, and now you got a smaller volume, half attempted rally that still ended with a loss for the NASDAQ. So not good overall for the NASDAQ, not good overall for the NYSE. The rally attempt from March to May to June could still hold, especially since the selling off in June started on low volume, and we've been rallying on higher volumes since then. And right before it was on above average volume, but still, I don't have much faith because I'm going to show you that. Like, look at IPCS now. Do you see that all that red in June? Now, during the market's pullback in May, okay, look in May. See the NASDAQ pullback almost the entire month of May to the very end. See our current pullback? Well, look at IPCS. Compare its May pullback to now. Look at ADAT. These are all like leading stocks for me since I went long and made money. Look at NTES. Look at SNDA. Look at RIM even. Look at Google. Look at the V-shaped pattern in Microsoft. I draw all the V's on the charts, penetrating the lows there. There's just bottom line, just a lot of rolling over action. Look at all the distribution days starting to show up there. And then compared to APWR's pullback in May, lost the green bop, but it never went negative and became right back to gold or yellow. And now look at what it's done in June. Massive sell-offs, huge distribution days, no chance for rallies, and it's basically gotten pretty ugly. And that's why we have shorts also in a lot of other stocks right now, is we're up to 4 shorts. It's not a lot, but you know what? It's still increasing. One of the worst parts on this market is stocks like RGR. You have a bounce off the 50-day moving average and you reverse it. That's super bearish. That's actually a short. You have MRCY, which bounced right off the 50-day moving average, reversed it immediately. Bases aren't long enough and flat enough to be perfect and to work out the way our perfect longs throughout history have. Still, all these 50-day moving average failures. MGH, another gold stock. Look at it be right off the 50-day moving average and bounce. Oh, it looks like it wants to go higher, right? Nope, guess not. No good. So we're starting to see a lot more of this, and this is starting to become very worrisome. So I would start to worry a little bit. Let's look at gold really quick. Gold had a nice little bullish intraday session at the 50-day moving average. Maybe it'll hold in here and not collapse like everybody says. Silver holding in here at the 50-day moving average. We got to watch it there. Platinum, the same thing. And how's the United States dollar looking? Like piss? Yep, like piss. So it looks like it wants to try to start a whole new series of trying to break down and move lower. Can't get above the 50-day moving average. Can't even touch it. Now puts in a negative engulfing bearish candle. Hopefully that it won't lead to the right side and lead lower. But dang it, things are pretty ugly out there. I mean, It's just kind of ridiculous right now, to be quite honest with you. We had some good charts. Did some nasty things recently. Trying to think of any that like really stuck out in my head for big reversals. That was like shocking almost. Can't see any here off the top of the list. When we get the full cells, and I'm looking at another piece of paper. We don't even have those. I can't find it, so I'm not going to worry about it. I'm not going to show you. But the bottom line, United States dollars bearish. Gold, I'm buying on pullback. Sorry. Gold hits 850. Another 50K will be bought. Same with it hitting 700, 750. I'd rather put my money in gold for the long term based on people moving out of the dollar into other areas of the economy that's safer. And I'm going to continue to pay down my debt. I've turned over $100,000 in credit card bills. Thanks, Dad. By the way, for you, those of you that don't know, I'm fighting the biggest uphill battle probably most of you will ever fight. I was stuck with over $75,000 worth of my dad's debt after he died. He screwed me by opening an account with my own signature, and there was no fighting it with the other credit card company, so I've had to settle. But if you don't think that that incident has set me back so much the past few years, especially with the lack of huge money that's able to be made by canned slim momentum investors, or heck, any style that I'm looking at, unless you're really lucky and you happen to load up on RAD, and it's just been a really rough, past few years. Still, I show up to work every day, and I plan on making a ton of money whenever this bear market ends. And actually, even in 2008, don't forget that we had stocks like ANCI. Their names was AXSI, which did give, a semi-perfect pattern, our only closest one, and then gave us a nice little 50% gain in a little over 1.5 weeks. So we can still get some big money. You can see how it's acting now. Imagine if you didn't cut your loss right there in May, let's say. Let's say that you didn't do that. Oh, you only lost another 50% of your money, so your $100,000 now $50,000. Market's a dangerous game in deflationary areas and in bear markets, and that's what it looks like we have. I have no new longs and no new I have one new short right now. So I do have a new short, but still no new longs as we go into the scans. I'll be back with part 2 and part 3 right after this. Aloha.